In my left hand, we've got the Titleist Vokey SM6 Wedge. This came out in 2016, it's 8 years old to be exact. This wedge in my right hand is the Titleist Vokey SM10, current, just come out. We've got these in the exact same loft, we've got them in the same grind and the exact same bounce. What we're going to be doing today is hitting some short shots around the green. We're going to be testing it for mid-range shots, sort of 80 yards there or thereabouts, and we're going to hit some full shots with it as well. I want to know what the difference is in spin and overall feel and performance to see how much they've changed. The main things we're going to be paying attention to today, firstly feel. The SM10 is 8 years newer, as I said, to the SM6, so we would expect it to feel a lot nicer, maybe even look a little bit nicer behind the ball. The other thing that we're going to pay attention to is the spin numbers. There's a bit of a perception that when you get brand new wedges, they spin loads more and it makes a huge difference, and honestly that's probably why most people replace their wedges. So let's see what difference that makes. We're not going to pay too much attention to dispersion from the pin, because the reality is that's down to me whether I hit a good or a bad shot. But I think stick around, wait until you see the numbers, because it might be a little bit closer than you think. Right, so as a starting point, we're just going to do, what's that, 25, 30 feet bump and runs. So we'll start with the SM10. We're going to use Pro V1s for both of them. And for the kind of feel side of things, we're going to see how much difference there is between the two. So we'll have 3 shots with each. I'm not the best chipper, admittedly. Rob sorted me out though, so let's hit a couple of shots just around here, see if there's any difference between feel. Okay, just as you'd expect. Did feel grabby, felt quite nippy. That might be the golf ball, or it's a brand new wedge. A little bit heavy, that one. Dan Greaves, I know you like that one. Right, let's move on. So that was the SM10, just kind of, everyone knows what a Vokey feels like, they're great. So we've got the SM6 now. Again, just to reiterate, this is in the exact same loft. It's got the same grind, same bounce. It's just a 50-degree wedge, 8 degrees of bounce, F grind. Looks identical. Still grabbed. Wasn't the best shot ever, but still nipped up with it. Feel wise, there's really not a lot of difference between those two. Maybe I was catching them a little bit heavy, so I'm not going to get a ridiculous amount of check. I think the spin side of things is going to be more for the half swings and the full swings that we will be doing out on the course. But from a feel perspective, I mean, they look absolutely identical. There's really no difference between them. These wedges used are going for about £50 now, probably less than, I would have thought. SM10 are retailing for £169. So the comparison between these two really should be, is this 3 times as good as this? Because around the greens, it's not. Right, it's super windy, so the microphone might be a little bit muffled, but we're out now on the course. We're about 100 yards away from the pin, and we're going to hit like a 3/4 shot, both 50-degree wedges. We're going to start with the SM10. We're going to hit 3 3/4 shots with this, and then we're going to hit 3 3/4 shots with the SM6. We're not really going to pay much attention to where the ball finishes on the green, because that's down to me hitting a good shot or a bad shot. But what I'm interested in is, do they feel the same? You would expect, being 8 years newer, that this is going to feel a lot nicer, maybe look a little bit different. It doesn't look that way at the moment, but the number that I think everyone would be expecting is a lot more spin with the SM10. How much more? I'm not sure, but stick around for the numbers because I think you're going to be very surprised at what the SM6 can do. And before we get into this, if you've got any used clubs that you want to buy or sell, visit compendiumgolf.com. So we've got the SM10 to start with. It's brand new, 50 degree, 8 degrees of bounce, F grind, both the exact same. So we're going to hit 3 3/4 shots and see how the numbers come out. Nice flight, felt really, so you can see that really spinning back on the green as well. Okay. We're playing it into the wind as well, so I would expect to see a little bit more backspin with these anyway, but really interested to see what the SM6 does. Right, last one, let's finish on a good one. Sorry about the wind noise, by the way. Oh, I've hit the green 3 times there. Wow, what a golfer. Right, so that last shot was 9,800 RPM spin. You would expect that, it's a brand new wedge, it's going to spin loads. The question is, how much is the SM6 going to spin? Because we're looking at the retail price, SM10 is £169 per wedge. A used SM6 you can get for less than £50 now. We've got a few available on the website, but they're less than £50 and second hand. So the question is, are they going to spin a lot less or is it going to be pretty similar? Okay, right, next up, SM6. A third of the price of the SM10. But is the SM10 going to be 3 times better than this? Feels absolutely identical. Not the best strike, that one. Better shot. We'll go through the numbers afterwards, but that's surprising. Oh my God. This is a lot closer than I was expecting, to be fair. So we're going to overlay what I'm looking at on the screen right now, but we'll start with the SM10. SM10 average ball speed about 92 miles an hour, 91.9 miles an hour. Carry distance on average for the 3 shots was 113 yards and an average backspin of 9,700, which is what you'd expect from a brand new wedge. I mean, they spin a lot. SM6, 93 mile an hour ball speed, so a little bit faster. The spin was 8,600. It's about 1,000 RPM less than the brand new SM10. I wouldn't say that's low spin. It is obviously a lot lower, but I wouldn't say it's a huge difference. Carry distance 114 yards. So, I mean, even if we show the dispersion between the two, you can see the launch was identical. The dispersion is pretty similar. Again, that's probably down to me hitting good and bad shots. But in my opinion, SM10, based off of these numbers, is not worth triple the price. Yeah, okay, you're going to get a little bit more spin if you get brand new wedges. I think we all kind of expected that. But the interesting thing to me is how well the SM6, an 8-year-old wedge, has performed against something brand new. Like that blows my mind. So I guess it's down to you whether you spend £170 per wedge or £50 per wedge. So the main thing I would say, is the SM10 worth triple the price? No, it's not. Is it better? Yes, but it depends how much you're playing. If you're a single figure, a week in, week out golfer, maybe even a scratch golfer, yeah, you're going to benefit from having brand new wedges in your bag. But if you're playing once a week, you don't need to spend a fortune on wedges. You're still getting more than enough performance, even from a feel perspective. The SM6 and the SM10, almost 10 years apart, felt identical. They look identical, and as long as you get them in good condition, there's no reason why you still can't get the performance out of an older wedge. So thanks for tuning in. As always, it helps the channel out a lot. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment below if you want to see any other reviews, comparisons, and we'll catch you in the next one.